trying, y'all.
See me stop for a while. They wanna 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 see me stop for a while.
My crypto is up, my pistols is tucked. By the dip with the set, and then I get low as fuck. Lambos in limbo, I sit low as fuck. I got a Kamala hopping off the G5, and you know what Timbos is tough. Had the best verses, have to give Swiss Street and Timbo a cut. Rather wake up in Rome in a Karen's home that look like Sharon Stone before I hand them the stones. Chrome and abandon the throne. Dope and palm, smoke and bombs. Chaos magicians with broken wands. Travel through the dark web until my token's gone. Searching for Spock in his Pokemon. Invoking songs, speaking pig Latin and Hebrew spoken wrong. Off-white Peruvian fox, blue face to watch, lapis lazuli the rocks, baby blue Bermudian locks, triple black Nubian yacht with Narubian dot, brand Nubian knots. Slow down,
Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop for a while. Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop for a while. 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 They wanna see me stop for a while.
slow down. Then a playlist switched to Andalusian rock. For all of you niggas that saying the black woman god, natural Tahuti box. Basic, now it's back to the basics. Made the Sentinel destroy Zion, now it's back to the Matrix. Racist. They said black don't crack, but there's cracks in they facelift. Glaciers, ski racks on a spaceship. Gracious, Tanzanite black opal 100 racks for the bracelets. Selfies inspired, we fed all our healthy desires. Demons and Hellcats, streetcars with wealthy desires. Red summers, oh yeah, we melt in these tires. The LP was fire. NFT top shelf sold to the wealthiest buyer. Copper wires, yeah, the wealthy messiahs. He was wrapped up in the wealthy attire. Speak your dreams, dream chasing nigga, seek your streams.
Die hard, they wanna see me stop a while. Die hard, they wanna see me stop a while. 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 They wanna see me stop a while.
Old niggas ask me, say young blood, where you get your style from? I told them my style sprung like a cow dung. I chewed on them shrooms like a cow tongue. They said, how come? I replied that the proof is in the outcome. Detroit Red Pillar, yeah, Harlem's very old Malcolm. Go and cop twin the album, the Red Summer. Scorpion King, that Christ consciousness, yeah. You might conquer shit. 300 blickies on some contra shit. What? The meanest entry in the cleanest Bentley. Mars and Scorpio, but I let Venus tempt me. Grabbing my dick, they call it penis envy. Busting off shots. Busting off shots till the scene is empty.
Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop a while. Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop a while. 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 They wanna see me stop a while.
guitar on to this day. To this day. Yes, indeed. To this day. To this day. Talk black to me. You know what I'm talking about? That right there. Woo! That right there is that's a problem right there. That's a problem. That's Red October. You know what I mean? We in Red October right now. That's Die Hard featuring Destiny Mura, right? Produced by E-Bass and my good brother Nick, all right, from Attic Sounds. That's just a taste of what's coming with this new NFT project that I'm working on. I'm selling a single for $444. If y'all want that, hit up that Cash App right there. The single is Die Hard. That right there is going for $444. But the project, the one that we're putting out as an NFT is gonna go for $444 Ether. 444 Ether. Right? So we cooking. You know what I'm talking about? It's Red October. We in the kitchen. You know, we are definitely in the kitchen. Like I said in the last episode, and this is not to toot my horn, but you know, when it comes to brothers on the in the lecture circuit or metaphysical or you know, whatever y'all want, conscious community, yeah, you know, we're gonna stake our claim. You know what I'm talking about? You know, and we got growing, and we growing, and we improving. You know, it's all about being able to measure oneself. So, you know, I could see the growth and I know what the future holds. And I know the people that I'm working with. So, you know, just look out for that. But first and foremost, let me say peace and love to the family. Welcome to another episode of Third Eye Thursday. You are now rocking with the best. Yes. Yeah. You are now rocking with the best. Let's do the roll call so we can get this thing popping tonight. All right. Shout out to everybody in the building. Let's see who this is how music works too. And when it comes to God Hop, I don't even identify myself as independent. You know, I would say that I'm a sovereign entity who's exercising his decentralized, you know, evolution will be digitized rights to be in Zion and to benefit off of the work that he's done. You know what I'm talking about? And also, I would say that I'm an entrepreneur because, you know, the key to entrepreneurship is to find a way to do things differently to bring about greater results. You know what I mean? So being able to really benefit and profit off of your art and not receive 2 cents. Understand when I say 2 cents, I'm not being facetious. I really mean 2 pennies. 2 pennies are what a majority of artists that we all grew up listening to and thinking that everything that they were doing was going to be, you know, beneficial to them financially, and they were only receiving 2 cents. We live in a day and an age now where any artist that you can think of, the majority of them, more than likely, you'll never hear about them. You won't meet them because a lot of people who are really making it happen financially and, you know, putting up big W's, they're not a part of the roster at a major record label. Let me just do the shout outs and then we'll talk. We'll talk. Philly is in the building. Shout out to Philly. Right. Shout out to Philly, you dig? Shout out to Boston. Shout out to West Phoenix. Shout out to Baltimore. You know what I'm talking about? Shout out to Aurora. You know? Shout out to the city of Frederick Douglass, Colorado, NOLA, the BX. Right? When you have a network such as this, you don't need a record label. When you have a network like this, you don't need certain departments, you know, in a record label because this is called word of mouth right here. Look, people are tapped in from all around the world. Look at this. We got Memphis in the building. You know what I'm talking about? We got Harlem in the building. We got Jamaica in the building. You feel me? We have Orange County, California. That's the west side. That's the west coast. Shreveport. You know what I mean? That's Louisiana. That's the boot. That's the mud, right? We got Seattle in the building, Delaware. Tell it on the mountains of Seattle. Breakfast in Seattle. So while at breakfast at Seattle, this is how, you know,
You spread the music. This is how music gets spread. This is how artists get spread. This is how buzzes get spread. This is how singles get spread. This is how albums, classics, people who are popping underground, how they become overground and things of that nature. This is how it works, word of mouth. So for everybody that is from all around the world, just know that I want to say thank you first and foremost. I definitely want to say salute to everybody who has spread the good word, who has put their people on, you feel me, to the music, not only that Red Pill does, the music that Red Pillar does, Blue Pillar, the music that Cambada is doing, the music that Brother Rich, Father Rich is doing, Black Magic, you know what I'm talking about, the music that Black Dot was doing, the music that A Rashid is doing. I'm putting people on to mad music, the music that Cyrock is doing. I could go on for days, right? It's not about one person. You don't get one, you know what I mean? When you go to the restaurant, there's not just one food on the menu. There's not one option on the menu. Variety is key. You know what I'm talking about? And when you got variety, variety could be variety is paradise. When you have such good things to choose from, what you don't want to involve, what you don't want to run into is a deluge, right? Brooklyn in the building, Chicago in the building, West Los Angeles in the building. You know I'm talking about? Chirac in the building. Shout out to the guys in the Chicago. Shout out to Chicago Crypto Hustler. Shout out to everybody out there in the Chi. Make sure y'all support that brother. Make sure y'all do get behind that brother. Make sure y'all tap in with Chicago Crypto if you're in the Chicago area. You know what I'm talking about? It doesn't matter what side of Chicago you're on. It doesn't matter what side you come from. If you're in Chicago or the surrounding areas, please, while the brother is accessible, he's doing monumental things in the world of the metaverse, the crypto world, the blockchain, just that whole ecosystem, that whole world right there. Take advantage of that. Shout out to the Moors and the Moor Science Temple of America. It was exactly a year ago that me and Blue Pill and Pink Pill were we were the keynote speakers at the 63rd annual MSTA, uh what day was that? The Founders Day, right? So shout out to the family that's out there. You know I'm talking about. Shout out to the brother Roy Bay, Islam. They treated us with the utmost of respect. You know I'm talking about. They laid out the maroon carpet. They laid out all of the amenities and whatnot. And I still can't believe it was a year today, to this day. You know I'm talking about? To this day.
To this day. To this day.
And yeah. It's dope. You know what I mean? East New York is in the building. Shout out to East New York. Shout out to Akron. You feel me? Shout out to Dallas, Texas. So if we, I'm just hypothetically hypothesizing right now. What I'm doing is I'm sharing ideas and I'm planting seeds and whatnot. But ultimately, this is something that would have to be, really put together by not just thought leaders, but engineers, right? Architects and builders, and really find a way to take complete, when I say advantage, right? Don't think that somebody is taking advantage of you, but someone who could basically take advantage of the fact that when there's a multitude of people, right, who are online in a place at the same time, simultaneously, in real time, right? Everybody has access to each other. Everybody has access to funds. Everybody has access to, the opportunity or the ability to send those funds. You know what I'm talking about? There are monumental things that could be done like that with that kind of access. That access doesn't exist in many other places. When music is digital now, music can go all around to these places where brothers and sisters just said that they live at and whatnot, right? That music could now go into these areas and then spread, right? By that music spreading and by that sound spreading and by that frequency spreading and by that that just that whole aesthetics and whatnot, introducing people into the aesthetics and it waking them up the same way that something woke you up. You got to ask yourself, what helped turn my third eye on? What was the aesthetics that woke me up? What stopped me in my knuckle dragon phase of knuckle dragon and made me look up, right? What was it that caught my attention? What was my my eureka moment? Well, when did the light bulb go off? Who did I hear? What did I see? What did I run into? Because I get stories from people that's like, yo, I was just browsing on WorldStar. I was just browsing on YouTube, and then the algae rhythm recommended some shit that took me down a wormhole, and I've never been back ever since. And I'm like, yeah, Hotep. Yeah, you're in Zion, right? So people get it in different ways. But if they could get it, you know what I mean? If you could get it, why can't they get it? Right? If it can happen to you, why can't it happen to them? So the same way that people were able to spread the lectures or clips on, clips that go viral, or debates, or the outside builds, the ciphers, all of these drama clips and whatnot, the 1 million Umar memes and things of that nature. And I could go on for days. There's a power in that number if one were to come together and create some type of funnel or some type of SAA, as a service and whatnot, and really tap into that. You know what I mean? Because there's multiple communities that are completely tapping into that. There's multiple independent music communities that are they have networks of only 1,000 people. They don't have big networks. You feel me? And they going on tours and all kind of stuff. So there's a formula that, I'm putting it out there. There's definitely a formula that's going to be created. And I'm sure there's other formulas that are out there. I'm just speaking from my perspective, the way that I'm seeing it, and the way that I'm articulating how the game is changing and going into so many different avenues and streams, digital streams, that is going into the NFT world, is going into the Dao Se Chong, the Dao Se Tong world, you know what I mean? The DAO, the decentralized autonomous organizations and whatnot, is going into many different opportunities and streams and whatnot. And the powers in the people. It's the powers in the people. It always has been, it always will be. So if the powers in the people and you got the people, where's the power? Right? There's no reason that people who consider themselves to be conscious MCs are not going multi-platinum every time they drop. There's no reason why. At this point, I can't see it. You know what I'm talking about? There should be a lot of platinum artists, multi-platinum artists that come out of this quote unquote community. People got catalogs, because it's not difficult. If a video could get a few million hits, then the quote unquote streams could get hit, the YouTube could get hit. I'm just saying, like, I'm throwing out these formulas, and I'm just putting it out there that we got what it takes to make many, many, many moves. It just has to be a different playbook, because if you keep using the same playbook and coming up with the same results, then what does it tell you about the playbook and the plays that you're making? This community has the potential. This community has the quote unquote the opportunity. This community has the right to be very, 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 very successful. And I'm not just talking about monetary gain and whatnot. I'm talking about successful across many, many different boards, like I talked about last night on Black Magic 363. You know what I mean? When we did the panel with Vicky Dillard, Professor Griff, Father Rich, and yours truly, Brother Red Pill. You know what I mean? And I talked about spiritual wealth. You have to fulfill your spirit in these days and times. I'm not here to preach. I'm not here to reach. You know what I'm talking about? I'm not nobody. I'm not your pastor and whatnot. I'm not judging nobody. But what I do know is that these days and these times that we currently live in, I could only speak for the now right now. I'll take you down memory lane next episode. But right now, we could talk about the now. And shit is real in the now, bro. So you putting in work, you getting your bread, you running up the bag and whatnot, you getting to it, right? Or whatever you doing, it doesn't matter. Whatever it may be. You night trading, you midday trading, you day trading, You know what I mean? You massaging, you doing reflexing, you painting toenails, you touching toenails, whatever it is, bro. Whatever it is. If it feeds your spiritual bank account, then ye are rich. Woe unto thee who do something strange for a piece of change. Y'all can hear the effects. Is it crispy?
To this day. To this day.
You do a little thing, you do something strange for a piece of change to obtain capital gains. You let niggas run trains. Matter of fact, you let niggas run planes. We told you to keep it plain like Mary Jane. I could go on for days, but you know what I'm saying. You know? Don't sell your don't you have certain type of like apply this concept to luxury, right? Apply this concept to luxury. In the world of luxury, one's luxurious item remains luxury as long as it's taken care of and is kept up to pristine conditions, correct? So in this world that we exist in, that we could compare, the human body to luxury, because this should be the most luxurious item that you do possess, because this is the item that's coming with you no matter where you go. You can't leave it nowhere. You can't forget it anywhere. This is the most luxurious item that gives you your Hermes. I don't care how many crocodile scales is on your Hermes bag. It can't give you a baby. And I ain't talking about the baby. I ain't talking about the baby either. This body, you know what I'm talking about? Designed by God, gives you a baby. You produce life. Before we talk about anything else, you want to talk about value? You want to talk about wealth? You want to talk about riches? You want to talk about generational wealth? Niggas don't even want to procreate. Talking about generational wealth. You got a whole group of people. They not even, hold on, they not even procreating, talking about generational wealth. And they think generational wealth is setting up 3 bank accounts or trust fund. They don't understand that generational wealth is, nigga, you got mad seeds. King Simon got 10. Mr. G got 10. Minister Inky got 10. I'm like, these niggas pull-out game is horrible. You know what I'm talking about? But shit, you be fruitful and multiply. We all should have 10. Sabi got like 60. The fact that you may even live in a world where you can't even have 60 if you wanted it, you know that you're not living in a free world. You're not living in a free world. If I wanted 600 children, I should be able to easily go and have that. And they'd be like, yo, Ray, we're going to give you 600,000 acres or 600 acres. So you could raise your 600 star seeds as a nation. You feel me? The real wealth is your spiritual bank account. How rich is your spirit? How rich is your spirit? Even if your spirit has been broken, I don't ever want anybody to think that, when out of pain and out of friction is not where you find miracle. You know what I'm saying? I don't want nobody to feel like they're not perfectly broken and whatnot.
I don't want nobody to feel like that motherfucking pressure that they went through in life, the shit that broke them, was actually the same pressure that the piece of coal went through that broke that into a diamond. You know what I'm talking about?
To this day. To this day.
Pressure bust pipes, but it make diamonds. I'm talking to a people who only know pressure. You know what I'm talking about? So we have to know as a collective. If I could talk to the people, because I really don't know who the people are. I can't identify the people like that. So that's a general statement, but I'm talking to the people and I'm like, yo, we are more wealthier than we even know. The extensions of life that you created, the quote unquote recreating yourself, the quote unquote co-creator, being able to mimic the power of what it is known as the all and whatnot, being able to recreate something in your image and to pass on what is most sacred on this planet, right? What is most sought after on this planet is your DNA. Kendrick. Kung Fu Kenny. It's your DNA. It's your DNA. You know the DNA that they find on shirts? You know what I'm talking about? You know the DNA that's in your hair follicles? You know the DNA that's in your blood? You know the hella cells, the Henrietta Lacks her magical DNA, the hella cells, whereas there may be 1,000,000 Henrietta Lacks. I'm going to show you an article. Man, look, the numbers of black women that are going missing is astronomical. It's astronomical. Doesn't make sense. I was in Connecticut and I saw an article today on the front of a newspaper and it said in 2020, 4 black girls died a day. Come on, what are you talking about? Let me go no further. I don't even want to continue on the menu. Let me go and pull up the Grammington because y'all might think that I'm Cappington. I'm going to take you right to the article. That shit stopped me in my movements. At least 4 black females were murdered each day in 2020. Look at this. FBI said it recorded at least 405 additional murders of black women and girls, but reports have strongly suggested that the number represents an undercount.
To this day.
What are we talking about?
To this day.
What are we talking about? Huh? What are we talking about? How is that happening? How is that happening? Can I take a stab at it? Can I take a stab at it? It's many, many factors that why that is happening, right? But what I can say is because the shields are down, right? The shields that were usually, the firewall that would usually be up to kind of like keep certain women away from a certain type of pedigree of or men or women, right? Because of the pushing of the quote unquote dot culture, the pushing of prostitution culture, the pushing of the sex culture, sexual liberation culture, the pushing of, you know, women just being able to put ads out there and going anywhere without any type of armed security or protection and whatnot, or a certain type of insurance to make sure that something won't happen to them, you know, they could be atrocious. Right? And I feel like a lot of people have their guards down. And as a result of them having their guards down, we you know, they may be getting taken advantage of. You feel me? And it's a silent, it's nobody there to really speak up for them. You feel me? And it's a silent, there's nobody to talk up for them. You know? More people need to talk about this and explore the situation. Okay, let me see something. Is your screen frozen? Because I'm looking at it through my phone and it looks like the screen is frozen. Y'all talk black to me. I'm good. Okay. So, you know, there's a lot of shit going on that we need to really explore because nothing like that should be really happening on our watch. Remember, there was circa 2020, there was an uptick in black militia groups and whatnot. We started to see a lot of them pop up and then they disappeared, right? You don't see people outside with the blickies that much anymore and whatnot, especially in the Biden administration. I haven't seen a demonstration since after January 6th insurrection. I can't really recall seeing too many demonstrations. Maybe if I saw one, you feel me? I'm getting the timelines mixed up because time is just going super fast and whatnot. But I definitely didn't see two. How about that? I didn't see the. I didn't see two. You know, I know that there's some things going on the legal side, but it's just it's just weird. It's just weird. You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? I don't know. So it's like, there's gonna be there has to be something to replace that because if it was functioning correctly, right? Functioning correctly, it is effective. Functioning correctly, there's an effectiveness to multinational, multilateral, right? Paramilitary organization. It's like a union. Just like a union. There could be many different organizations that exist, but the shield headquarters of it, the headquarters where how they have the Pentagon, right? The quote unquote elders for council, correct? Yes. The elders for council, the youth for war, right? Yes. Okay. Houseway. So where the elders at?
Houseway. Take a few steps
with the blicky.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
Blicky. I haven't seen the elder with a blicky after they killed King and Malcolm. You know what I'm talking about? Not like the elder council who's lining niggas up and cleaning shit up, right? With their counseling. The master teachers would be the closest thing that we got to, General Custard. You know what I'm talking about? The master teachers are the closest thing that we would have to like a General, Sherman and whatnot, burning shit down. You know what I mean? Dick Gregory is a general. You know what I'm talking about? Dr. Ben and Dr. Clark, Dr. Sabi, Dr. Blair. These are surgeon generals. These are generals. These are commanders. You know what I'm talking about? These are oracles. These are deities. And they're part of the ancestor realm. This fucking active nigga, and you can tap in. What you talking about? You can tap in if you into the tap. If you tap dancing, you can tap in on the tapping tent. You just gotta have a spiritual. There's a pay. You gotta pay. You gotta pay like you weigh, and you gotta pay in spiritual, crypto, nigga. You gotta pay in spiritual crypto. Okay. Your crypto frequency has to be up. It's based on your deeds. It's based on your actions, not the shit that you say on the internet, not the shit you say around niggas who you thought woke with your woke peanut gallery. Not the shit that you scripted by going on mad different blogs and copy and pasting shit. You know what I mean? Not that. You know what I'm talking about? Not that.
To this day. To this day.
I'm talking about that real shit, letting your nuts hang in the public. I'm talking about making the world your soapbox, my nigga. I'm talking about shifting the pillars, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? I'm talking about shaking shaking the room, shaking the matrix, nigga. What you talking about? I'm talking about that type of work. What is it worth? Is it, you know what I mean? How could you turn that into NFT? With 5,000 people on a live every day, in 5 days, you could start changing. You could start shifting the pillars. You could start shifting the paradigm. I'm a paradigm shifter. I'm a thought leader. I'm a world changer. I'm many things, and I'm successful at many endeavors, and I fail forward at the ones that I'm not successful at. Right? And collectively, right? I know who I am, and collectively, we're a force to be reckoned with. And then we have a pantheon of ancestors that are encircling us, right? It's like a ring of power. Okay. They are recently ascended masters. They could be contacted. They could be tapped in. They could be they're the way that you tap into them currently, the altar where they existed is on YouTube.
To this day. To this day.
Worship at that shrine of master teachers C. Freeman L. Right? Master teachers Dr. Sabi, aka Alfredo Bowman. Master teachers Dr. Delbert Blair. Master teachers Dr. Francis Cress Wilson. And you can also tap into their literature. Don't make it seem like it has to be something digital. You could tap into their audio. You could tap into their literature. You could tap into their video archives. There's many ways to worship at the throne and then edify your ancestors so you could get some fucking bitcoins in your spiritual bank account. You know what I'm talking about?
To this day.
Some
to this day.
Yeah. Some cryptic currency. You know what I mean? Some cryptic currency. You know, so there's work to do, and that's not the only work. It's mad work. If you homeschool your children, I think you get money for that in your spiritual bank account. You know, if you stay solid, if you keep it 100, there's rewards for that. If you do the motherfucking work on yourself, there's rewards for that. If you help others, there's rewards for that. If you balance your scales, there's rewards for that. If you love on your children, there's rewards for that. You feel me? If you don't compromise yourself, there's rewards for that. If you remain intact, if you keep your name and your shit clean and your face card good, nigga, there's rewards for that. You get coins for that. There's a deposit. You'll get a deposit for that. Your social credit in the spirit realm will increase. You know, there's also rewards for maintaining discipline and not being quote unquote ruled by, you know, the slaves of what is known as lust and pride. You feel me? The two devils. So there's work to be done, right? There's a plethora, there's almost a Kilimanjaro mountain size of jewels that have been dropped by a gang of jewel droppers, right? From different corners of this planet, right? Of different shades, of different nationalities, of different schools of thought. I listen to David Icke coming up. I listen to William Cooper coming up. But I also listen to Dr. Amos Wilson coming up. I also listen to Dr. Naeem Akbar coming up. I also listen to C. Freeman L coming up. I also listen to Zachariah Sitchin. I also listen to Manly P. Hall. I also listen to Napoleon Hill. I'm not tripping. Are you serious? information and knowledge and nuggets and whatnot, they're not starstruck, nor are they color struck. They don't care who's receiving it. That's just a human. That's something that is a lower frequency. It's not real. It doesn't exist outside of your fucking limits and whatnot. These boxes that we be in. No. If somebody opens up a book, the book don't close because your ashy ass knuckles, you know what I'm talking about, didn't pass the paper bag test. I'm sorry. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, I never seen YouTube turn off when a nigga this blue black started watching it. Information is everywhere. It's ye that has to seek it, my nigga. You can't blame nobody. It's books that will open up when you open it, and then you dive in the same way you dive in to everything that you talk about. You like to dive in face first, ass up, right? Go dive in the book, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about? Go dive in the book and come up and tell me what you know what I mean? What did you catch? What did you catch? What type of fish did you catch, my nigga? Information is everywhere. Nigga, you don't gotta read a book. If you're tapped in, if your fucking Wi-Fi is connected to nature and you're tapped in and your intuition is on and popping and shit is happening as you think it and whatnot, you're on I was gonna say Geico mode. You're on Goku and Geico mode, nigga. You know what I'm talking about? You're on Geico and Goku together. And let's say that you're somebody who's maintained, semen retention and whatnot, and then you start shining, you get your Bruce Leroy glow. You are your most magnetic, energetic, and your manifesting powers are at its heights in that state. I've been there. You thinking shit, but even now, right? Even now in this day and time of the quickening and whatnot, you think of somebody, they pop up on God and everybody else, all of his subordinates. I was on 125th Street. I said, yo, who seen Shabazz? I turned around. He was like, I seen him. I was like, fam, you on your candy, man. I didn't even say your name 5 times. And then I went to the barbershop and came back, and brother Daoud was sitting down there. And 2 or 3 days prior to that, me and Baba was on the phone, and I was like, yo, did you hear anything from brother Daoud in the last 2 years? I'm getting a little bit nervous because I haven't heard from him. And then I pulled up on him. We took a picture. I gave him some bread we built and whatnot. He don't like getting on camera, but he has so much to say. He is a living legend. That's another one who is still with us and whatnot. He's out of the Bobby Hemmett. He's out of the Dr. Phil Valentine era. This is brother Daoud, one of the first fire, a real fire breather. You know what I mean? Somebody who was completely with the shits. So it's an interesting time that we're living in. As you can see, the veils have been lifted. 2021 proved to be what we said it was going to be. 21 Savage, hashtag it's a wrap. There's so much going on in the news to this day. I was just looking at this cover right here, just to give you some context of how long this conversation has been stretching on. But at the end of the day, this is still tabletop tennis and whatnot in the world of pop culture, especially when we're dealing with intellectual warfare, right? So this is still intellectual warfare in cancel culture vultures. This was the cover for Red October that we did, Third Eye Thursday, the Red October that we did, I think about a week ago, right? So in the news, they're still having the conversation about Netflix canceling Dave Chappelle, and it has taken a few twists and turns. This is turning into something that is marvelous to see at the end of the day because of the levels of W's that I'm seeing line up. You know what I mean? I'm not a sore loser, and I know that you get knocked down. You get 3 times to get knocked down before the fight is over. You dig what I'm saying? So I don't trip. But this nigga Dave Chappelle is handing these niggas a lot of L's and whatnot. You know what I'm talking about? Like, your boy Dave is kind of stunting on them, and I'm very happy and I'm proud to see that the other comedians are standing up and they're getting behind them. You know, if a coon was to jump out, we just know that we around coming up to the first of the month, the bills are due. You know what I mean? These niggas start popping their bussy and whatnot around that time. So, somebody will take the check. Look, they start doing that, popping it. You know what I'm talking about? I got the vaccine. OMG, me too. You niggas. But yeah, let's show you this. Look, I said the N-word 5,000 times on the Chappelle show. Nobody tried to cancel me. In fact, they offered me $50 million to keep doing it. Come on, bro. What are we talking about? What are we talking about? Where's this article? This is the show from last night. Make sure y'all go over there and check that. As you can see, a lot of people was hitting us up, tagging it and everything. They was like, yo, this was a classic. So when we formed Voltron, this is the new black media right here. You know what I mean? Not the new black media as if, we the new media, and we are representing melanated, if you want to say Moorish, if you want to say indigenous, but we're representing the melanated brothers and sisters, the nation and whatnot in the realms of media. If you would like to see this as a weekly show, put a fire emoji in the chat and whatnot, and I'm gonna make sure to go talk to that brother because I saw a lot of people calling for that. Maybe a monthly or something, maybe not a weekly, but a monthly, that is unless the bag is there, But yeah, I respect linking up with other journalists and letting that thing ring, you know what I mean? Busting my gun, putting them points up, doing them alley oops. Here we go. The Netflix co-CEO doubled down on defending Chappelle amid mounting controversy over comedy special. Don't believe that. That's clickbait. We have a strong belief that content on screen doesn't directly translate to real world harm, wrote Sarandos. Now, see, he's gonna get hammered, right? They're gonna hammer them in the intellectual Twitter world. You know what I'm saying? Black Twitter is probably gonna hint, they're gonna be able to show, well, because it's convenient now, right? Because when the video game shit was was a cause for violence, there's like, no, it's not, right? They was like, no, it isn't. You can't prove that. That don't have anything to do with it. But now they're saying that, shows like The Closer on Netflix that Dave Chappelle just gave, the controversial stand-up that he just did, they're actually saying that will incite violence, and they feel like their safety is in danger because of the exposure or the exposing of, their quote unquote, him calling them out, they're saying, and him being able to not be punished, right? We are the protected class, and we don't, and he didn't, you didn't, you need to protect us from him and his jokes and the people that will be saying those jokes and whatnot to us by the water cooler that will even push our buttons more and trigger us and infuriate us. So they're calling for a public hanging, the equivalent of a public hanging, the equivalent of a public flogging, the equivalent of a hand getting cut off, the equivalent of an execution, the equivalent of a barbecue, the equivalent of a pick a nigga, the equivalent of that. That's what cancel culture calls for. They want a body. It's a form of spirit cooking in the sense they say if you die in the Matrix, you die in the real world. Is that a fact or not? Is that a fact or not? You die in the Matrix, you die in the real world. So when they cancel you, you're getting canceled in the Matrix, right? They cancel you on Twitter. Starts in the Matrix. They cancel you on the quote unquote video channels. It's in the matrix. That's how they cancel you. They're canceling, and then it affects your money, and then it affects your bank account. You know what I mean? And then it has real world results. So it's like almost meme magic and whatnot. It starts in cyberspace, and then it goes into real world events. It hurts you in the real world. That's what cancel culture does. We get bombs thrown at us all day on the internet. You know what I mean? This is the first metaverse. This is the earlier stage of what the metaverse is. Now we're going into a virtual metaverse where it's going to be 10 times more advanced than what we're doing right here. But this would probably qualify as the early stages of the metaverse, what we call this latest iteration of social media cyberspace, where we all get together and link up and we know each other through the internets and whatnot, and through YouTube and these quote unquote black mirrors and whatnot. Your phone, niggas know me through their phones. That's strange. That's weird. You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? That's my new that's gonna be my new sound effect. Dr. Umar got the best ones. You don't find that suspicious? Yo, hit that Cash App, y'all. Hit that like button too. Come on.
To this day.
I need a smoke break.
To this day.
I need a smoke break. You know what I'm talking about? We're gonna play that song again, and I'm gonna take a smoke break in a minute. We're gonna take I need a bathroom. Yeah, I know, I'm sure y'all gotta go to the bathroom and listen to some DaBaby and whatever else I do. But we're gonna chop it up tonight though. We're gonna get it over. We're gonna go through some things before we get out of here. This is Third Eye Thursday. Third Eye Thursday, if you don't know, is more of a conversation type of build. You know what I'm talking about? We deal with, things that are going on, but we take it from a higher level and whatnot. This is just that, this is that metaphysical underground talk and whatnot. So Bill Bixby, you want me to play that Bill Bixby? I'll see. They trying to pillory him. Okay, so let me read this thing about Dave and Netflix. All right, because of course he's, these people are going to play these games, but whatever games people play. I said from the same company that brought you Squid Games. Interesting. If they don't have a problem with the violence that Squid Games introduced or the drug dealing that Narco celebrates, then they best not say shit negative about Dave Chappelle and what the fuck he said in the closer. If you could take a joke, take your sensitive ass to Disney Plus and get your rocks off at Mickey Mouse reruns. Yeah, bish. Yeah, bish. So, in a nutshell, homie is just saying a bunch of nothing. The co-founder, he's saying that basically we're not gonna take it down, right? He issued a new missive to all of Netflix in response to the Dave Chappelle mess. He remarks that content doesn't directly translate to real world harm, which will surely raise some eyebrows. We know that a number of you have been left angry, disappointed, and hurt. Hurt. He missed out, but damn. Somebody correct this. Let's go and correct that right there. But our decision to put Dave Chappelle's latest net special on Netflix, Sarandos wrote in an email obtained by Variety. With the closer, we understand that the concern is not about offensive to some content, but titles which could increase real world harm, or they said ham, such as further marginalizing already marginalized groups, hate, violence, etc. Last year, we heard similar concerns about 365 days and violence against women, said Sarandos. While some employees disagree, we have a strong belief that content on screen doesn't directly translate to real world harm. It's going to get hammered for that, right? And I asked, where the fuck is the outrage about Squid Games? I'll be trolling. The strongest evidence to support that this is that violence on screen has grown huge. Oh, hold on. The strongest evidence to support this is violence on screen has grown hugely over the last 30 years, especially with the first party shooter games, and yet violent crime has fallen significantly in many countries. A crock of shit. Adults can watch violence, assault, and abuse, or enjoy shocking stand-up comedy without it causing them to harm others. This will not be the last title that causes some of you to wonder if you can still love Netflix. I sincerely hope you can. Right? And then somebody said, no, but it'll be the last time that I'll make me think, should I keep paying for Netflix? And then I say, go to Disney Plus with your sensitive ass.
To this day. To this day.
Deontay Wilder wouldn't have said that. Check this out.
Where we're stuck is that we have a huge society.
Let me know if you can hear
collectively, where we're stuck is that we have a huge society and culture full of people in adult bodies that are actually operating in the at the psychic level of a child.
Okay.
Because we have been conditioned for a good 2,000 years to defer to authority, whether it be religious authority, the priest, to Jesus, to the doctor, to the school teacher, to the boss, to the person in the military with more rank than you. Your father is sort of the king of the household. Your mother's the queen of the household. If you even look at the history of chairs, you walk into a boardroom, what do you see at the end of each side of the table? A big chair. And what's along it? Little chairs. Why? Because that came from the Egyptian dynasty. The emperor and his wife, the empress, sat in the largest chairs. They were the first ones. They invented the chair, and everybody else that was subordinate sat on small chairs. And you go into houses all over the world and you'll see the same thing. So we actually have been conditioned not only through religion and through military structures and through plantation owners, which is where slavery, was, that we need to follow everybody else's dictates. And anybody that has more knowledge or is a scientist or a bigger degree than us becomes a parent figure. And so we've got a whole population worldwide of people now that can't think for themselves. They go to school and they're taught what to think, but they're never taught how to think. My system teaches you how to think for yourself. So you make your own decisions, which means you're an adult. So ultimately what we have is a bunch of people that are highly programmed by corporations to use video games when they should be working, to eat junk food even when it's making them fat and making them sick. But because it's all backed by science, they just believe it, even though the evidence is completely contradictory to it. What does that mean? It means you have children deferring their power of creativity to an external authority figure that's only real because they've believed it's real. And until you actually become a warrior,
you're dropping it,
to stand up for your own values and your own beliefs, whether your parents agree with it or not, or society agrees with it or not, which is Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, then you're always going to be a victim to the programmers. And now programming is so elaborate and so evolved that your iPhone is a very powerful programming tool. And people don't realize, even though they outlawed subliminal programming on television many years ago, light has an infinite capacity to carry information, and they're brainwashing you constantly through the use of photographic images, through video technology and image technology. And they've got you hook, line, and sinker, and they're using artificial technology to track every of your tendencies and bait you constantly. And for example, if you read the book Hooked by Nir Eyal, it's completely demonstrated in there exactly how they do it. And I interviewed him on that topic. But until we actually learn to grow out of childhood into our warrior archetype and stand up for what we believe and get clear on what values are supportive of living the life we want to live, and what are the activities, goals, dreams, or objectives that we want to achieve for ourselves, and make that decision and take responsibility for saying no to the habits that we have and yes to acquiring the new skills, only then do we begin to be an adult. And if we're not an adult, then we're always in a subversive position or a submissive position.
Like the have to.
I have to, or
sound familiar?
It's not my fault, or someone else made me do it, or if I don't do it, I'll burn in hell, or my mom and dad will be upset at me, or the people in church will be upset at me because I am interested in Buddhism, so I have to keep that secret. That's all the position of a child. And an adult says, I choose to do, not I have Well,
But
collectively,
yeah.
where we're stuck is that we have a huge society and culture full of people in adult bodies that are actually operating.
Okay, yeah, that's the dude, John. That's Paul Check. I got that off of Blue Pill's page. He was dropping some real stuff right there. You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about? Look at this article right here. Research finds racism a strong factor in Black women's high rate of premature births and whatnot. So that ties right into the video that you just saw, where they've somehow trained our women and our people, especially, to see certain people as authority figures and not to question them and to go with everything that they say, even though the consequences can be death. And on many occasions, it has been that and whatnot. So we have people getting away with so many infractions and so many things that are considered to be atrocities and whatnot because they're cloaked behind white coats, white shirts, black robes and things of that nature. So the same people that are doing this to pregnant women is the same people that our people think or expect us or are telling us or trying to shame us to trust, to give them some type of trust.
To this day.
How?
Take a few steps to this day.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the
They
answers.
don't got the answers, bro. You know what I'm talking about? How you
How? Take a few steps back to go.
Come on, bro. Niggas is out of their minds, man. You know? Negroes are out of their cotton picking minds. So what we gonna do right here? All right, what we gonna do right here? We gonna go on a 5-minute bathroom run. We're gonna go on a 5-minute break. You know what I mean? If you gotta smoke, if you gotta drink some water, if you gotta do some push-ups, I'm just gonna implement being very courteous and giving the family a break to go to the bathroom or to do something that they gotta do. Intermission, grab some snacks. You know what I mean? And we're gonna close it out probably another hour and whatnot. We're gonna do another hour. So intermission, we're gonna play a song off of, I think this is going on in deluxe too. This is Bill Bixby. You know what I'm talking about? This is that classic right there. In the meantime, I'm gonna put the flyer up for the next event that we got coming up at the end of October. All right, we got my good brother Slice is going to be a guest, a guest speaker, a guest teacher. All right, he bodied it in the workshop that we did. The evolution will be digitized sometime in April and whatnot. So we coming back with the Stream Chasers present the starter kit. All right, streams. All right. These are for brothers and sisters who want to tap into being a digital nomad. This is for the brothers and sisters who are content creators or want to be content creators. This is for the brothers and sisters that are leaving their jobs, forced to leave their jobs, fired from their jobs, thinking about tapping into multiple income streams, even though they're forced to stay on a job and take this shot. Nobody's judging you. You know what I mean? But we know that there's a lot of shifts taking place, and with shifts come opportunities. We don't frown at shifts. We don't frown at friction. We don't frown at issues. We hack these issues and we come up with solutions. So we coming to y'all. The link is in the bio. The link is in the description. All right. And this is Bill Bixby. Check it out. Peace. Hold on. Let's connect this Bluetooth. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me see. Do I have the cover of it? Thank you all of the cash apps too. I just want to say that. You know what I mean? I give y'all a shout out at the end of the show. I appreciate all of the support. You know what I mean? I definitely appreciate all of the support.
Snubs to the rockets. For the love of the chopsticks. Ran up from the plug and I pop shit. Faced with immeasurable odds. Some of you niggas found pleasure in God. Measuring rod, they treasure their jobs. Athletic build, moving with purpose. Tapped in the magnetic fields, moving with serpents. Took my brokers to stroker. Al Roker couldn't predict the storms that followed, the porn that followed. Same a tree that formed for Rollo. We made it rain and we burnt muddy. Bentley truck, interior burnt honey. Anyway, I take respect over riches any day. I take neck from your bitches any day. Penny weight, that's a neck full of riches, Henny straight. Shifting through paradigms, the color of Geechee Dan. Drifting through the Carolines, Gullah of the Geechee land. Time will tell. We move around in 33rd parallels, like Coney Island carousels. Fell asleep in Roswell, woke up in Cozumel. Pyramid hopping, chariot shopping. #1 seller, author of conscious fiction. Composition, confidence dripping. Continent drifting. A walking contradiction with a contra addiction. Brooms and mops, Mr. Clean, we conquered the kitchen. Facts in a fiction, contrary to popular predictions. Red pill, popping prescriptions. Addiction with the hoes. Black magic, yeah, with the Zoes. Anything goes. Cooking in Brooklyn, cocaine to push. New strains of the Kush, we call that Hussein in the bush. We from distant lands. DNA, different strands, different strains. Same planet, but different planes. Rosebud, they want to get us in chains. Rosewood, safety, state. The day off of kitchens, way off with pitching. For fashion, casting over 3 times, pre-crimes for shot on layaway like the cocky and drink. The consciousness, the competence, when rhetoric into reason, then predicates turn into heathens, and the wolves in Connecticut is season. Soon after, the D's would follow. Marlowe, my fam goon moving trees like Rollo. Before they seized the Gallardo, went from Pablo, hopping out Diablos. Designer robes, dark side of the moon like the China probes. Believe it or not, my mind is all Wrigley's. Believe it or not, my mind on the big leagues. Ice Cube with the big 3. My in a fix, man on the big bees. Moving back in time like the Frisbees. Snubs to the rockets. For the love of the chopsticks. Ran up from the plug and I pop shit. Faced with immeasurable odds. Some of you niggas found pleasure in God. Measuring rod, they treasure their jobs. Athletic build, moving with purpose. Tapped in the magnetic fields, moving with serpents. Took my brokers to stroker. Al Roker couldn't predict. The storms that followed, the porn that followed. Same a tree that formed for Rollo. We made it rain and we burnt muddy. Bentley truck, interior burnt honey. Anyway, I take respect over riches any day. I take neck from your bitches any day. Penny weight, that's a neck full of riches, Henny straight. Shifting through paradigms, the color of Geechee Dan. Drifting through the Carolines, Gullah in the Geechee land. Time will tell. We move around in 33rd parallels, like Coney Island carousels. Fell asleep in Roswell, woke up in Cozumel. Pyramid hopping, chariot shopping. #1 seller, author of conscious fiction, composition, confidence dripping, continent drifting, a walking contradiction with a contradiction. Brooms and mops, Mr. Clean, we conquered the kitchen, facts and fiction. Contrary to popular predictions, red pill, popping your prescriptions, stopping your addictions. Yeah, bitchin' with the hoes, black magic. Yeah, bitchin' with the souls, anything goes. Cooking in Brooklyn, cocaine to push. New strains of the kush, we call that Hussein in the bush. We from distant lands, our DNA, different strands, different strains. Same planet, but different planes. Citizen Kane, Rosebud, they want to get us in.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We back. All right. So yeah, that build up, that Red October, man. You know, we coming with the NFT deluxe. You know what I mean? I don't want to call it the deluxe. We might as well say Red Summer 2. You know? It's a whole nother album. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I mean? We coming with that Red Summer 2. Stream Chasers Academy, 21 Savage, and we also have the Stream Chasers. We're doing a starter kit. You know what I'm talking about? So October is very busy. We are working. Going into Scorpion season, we gotta work. We gotta close out the fourth quarter very strong. It's not how you start the race, it's how you finish it. So I am you know, I'm closing out 2021. And when I close it out, I'm definitely going into 2022 with a whole reinvigorated, spirit. I'm not going to talk about every single step that I'm making because, that's just not something that I do. But I'm moving more in the direction of the arts, if that could be of any what the art encompasses, and it encompasses music, film, painting, drawing, comics. It's so vast, but I'm definitely I'm going deeper into that world. But that's how I'm closing, that's what Red October also represents. Because like I was saying, and I was sharing on Tuesday show for the family who might not have yeah, I might not have known, or you do know that instead of Melanin Monday, we did Melanin Tuesday. I was traveling Monday. I wasn't able to dedicate the time that was needed to do the type of show that I needed to do. So I got some rest, and then I did it Tuesday night. And that show is a must see. I exposed a person who I call a mook. And I had to put it out there why I'm not doing business with the brother, and it's in that video. So if you didn't see it, make sure you go back and you check that out. And you also check out what the brother Slice was presenting, because we gave you some balance. You know what I mean? We gave you the good news, but we also gave you the news that we consider to be bad news, but it's good news at the end of the day, because better that you catch people early than you catch them later in life. So, and that t-shirt is coming. Give me my receipts. You know what I'm talking about? With the red flags on it. With the red flags on it. Shout out to the Red Flag Challenge. But going back to what we said before our break, you know what I mean? I want to continue the conversation that we were having before we went to break. Or, we could jump into a new conversation involving what we see unraveling with our brother Kyrie Irving, right? on the heels of the Dave Chappelle thing, because I don't think there's nothing needs to be said more about what's going on with the Dave Chappelle thing. He's exposing the hypocrisy that exists, right? And it's really just a power play. More so, it's not fair. It's not dealing with fairness. It's dealing with basically a form of bullying, in a form of coercion, in a form of, gaslighting, I would say, right? To whereas people feel obligated to talk about everything in the world but three groups of people, right? You can say anything about anybody in the world at any time, any day. They have book deals for you, record deals for you, tour schedules for you. They got tour dates for you. They got movie dates for you. They got all kind of rewards for you, but you cannot talk about a three hand-picked, cherry-picked group of people who are intricately connected and related, right? They are interwoven in each other's affairs, right? They're interwoven in each other's history. They're interwoven in each other's organizations, right? They're across the aisle. They're amalgamated into these different orgs and these different, I would call them, I identified them as the arms of Rome, or the heads of Rome, right? The heads of Rome, right? Like the Hydra, right? You know what I'm talking about? Or the wolf with three heads. But that's Rome, and it's out there. And I've even I've even utilized a disclaimer for people who look like me, who I don't have no business, attacking, because like they would say, and like I would also agree to, it's hard enough being melanated out here in these streets, right? I'm empathetic. So I would understand that. But we know, right, that there's a group of people who they make a living off of telling stories, right? There's a group of people who rose out of poverty. If you read the documentary Empire of Their Own, that was the upliftment of the Eastern European Jew in the Americas, right? Not to talk about the Western, not the Germans, not the Russians, but the Polacks and a few others. They rose up by telling stories in the 5 major studios in Hollywood, right? They came up. They were able to browse in highbrow society and rub shoulders with the blue bloods and rub shoulders with highbrow society of those days in the 30s and 20s and whatnot. You know what I mean? Russian Jews, German Jews, white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. They were able to even marry their daughters. So that's the way that they politically and whatnot, and in the business side, locked in with other elite families in the Americas and whatnot. And then they understood the assignment. The 5 studios in Hollywood, who all had owners who were small hats. Most of them were for Brooklyn and the Bronx, and then some were for Boston, right? From the ghetto, from the hood, right? From the trenches. They were they were fur dealers, right? Trappers. Remember, when you hear the furs and the pelts and whatnot, that's the trappers, right? They were the original trappers, the trappers that came over here. They were the small hats as well, amongst other people. And they had contracts and things of that nature, and they were they were able to have treaties and whatnot in order to trap pelts, to trap furs, chinchillas, sables, and things of that nature. The indigenous people let them get on the land and do the trapping and whatnot. That's your first trappers, right? So as a result of them being able to be accepted into highbrow society, the assignment that they carried out is what you would see when you see how yo ass is depicted in Hollywood. That's the assignment that they understood. Highbrow society, dominant society that they call them these days. They convinced the quote unquote the Yahudi to paint them in a more favorable image and highlight the better parts of their quote unquote white picket fence ideology. Henceforth, you got characters like Clark Gable, right? You got characters like Charleston Heston. You got all of the Betty Wright. I mean, all of these, these iconic Hollywood figures and things of that nature who were able to tell a story or paint a picture of an America that really didn't exist at the time that they were painting that picture. They created an illusion through the lens of Hollywood. And at the same time, they engaged in blackface. They engaged in the mammyisms. They engaged in step and fetch it, right? Now, I didn't say steppers. I said step and fetch it. They engaged in Mantan Moorland. They engaged in Amos and Andy. They engaged in the quote unquote the first movie, The Play at the White House, right? And one of the first movies to come out of the studios, right, of Hollywood. Okay. These are the same people who want you to feel empathetic for the plight that they went through when they was oppressed, when they was being hunted, when they were being lynched, when they were in the pogroms, but they were the ones who were behind Birth of a Nation. You know what I'm talking about? How does that
Halfway.
Take a few steps back to go.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
How?
Halfway.
I don't understand that. And they indulge in all kind of negative depictions of our people
To this day.
to this day.
To this day.
They broadcast our signals, our image. They broadcast our stories, the worst of us, the worst of our stories, the worst of our images around the world, and profit from it and are able to monetize it, right? To this day, we haven't even gotten a tenth of the movies that was promised to us by these studios to sell our souls to them, right? And when you sell your soul, what you play is the second, you play the pimp, the role of a pimp who's gonna do something disgraceful with your good face and your good name, you know what I mean? And your good spirit. That's going to be plastered across. You could be a good man at heart, but across cellulite and across the silver screen and always captured in film forevermore, you're a fucking crackhead, a bum, a pimp, corpse number 2. You know what I'm talking about? Whatever role they're playing, whatever recurring 5 roles of negrotude that they have for niggas to play in Hollywood productions, corpse number 2, corpse number 3. Short drug dealer. Where's the Dr. Sabi movie? Man, question. Man. I have no idea. It's coming though. I'm not gonna act like it's not coming. It's coming. Mr. G said that he was gonna be a producer on it, so it's going to the film festivals. That's what the boy Nick Cannon been on the TV, the internet's talking. That's what he been saying out of his mouth on Drink Champs and Breakfast Club. I haven't seen the film. I don't know what it entails. I don't know who got taken out, who got put in. There's an awful lot of people in the lineup from what it looked like in the trailer. You know what I'm talking about? It's like a concert. It's like a concert. So they got rewarded. They got what is it? What is the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant and the people who are in charge of certain things? What do they have the ability to do? Well, my friend, thanks for asking. They have the ability to pull up a whole race of people or a whole nationality, or a whole demographics into what is known as highbrow society. You ever heard of that? For the people, if you never heard of highbrow society, put one in the chat. Let me just take a toll. I want to be a little more interactive. Thoughts on FBG Ducks Reapers or Dirk's unfollowing fiasco? I don't know about the Dirk unfollowing thing, but I know that they caught five shooters for the FBA Duck thing. His mama her spirit is strong. I seen her Instagram. When you got a mama that's like that, you feel me, with a spirit like that, the killers can't just get away. The fact that a lot of killers get away with things that they do is because, the mamas be afraid to pursue and find out, you know what I mean? But she in them streets, she outside. So somebody might have one day just came up to her and dropped that bird, I don't know how they got I'm speculating. I don't know how they nabbed the shooters, but you know what I mean? Like, it is what it is, you know what I mean? It is what it is. Okay, so a lot of people don't know what it. All right, not a lot, but there's some ones in here. There's ones in here. Okay, I see ones. All right. Y'all know that Wu-Tang song One? That's my shit. One. Dong. That Wu-Tang series is getting nice too. Wu-Tang series is getting nice. I almost cried on the episode Protect Your Neck. That was like poetry right there. They put that together right. You know who did that? Who the director for that episode was my dude. It's in the credits and whatnot. You know what I mean? It was my guy Melvin Peebles, and then his father made transition like a few days, right around the time when that episode came out. His father made transition. Sweet Melvin Senior. So check this out. Love from the big old prison island of Australia. Yeah, shout out to y'all out there. Shout out to y'all out there. Finally caught alive from Germany. Shout out to Germany. Blue Vein Society, right? Highbrow Society is Blue Blood Society. Highbrow Society is the Blue Blood Society. Highbrow Society is the white Anglo-Saxon Protestants. Highbrow Society are the quote unquote Scottish rights and things of that nature. Highbrow Society are what people call the elites. Highbrow Society are, even people who belong to the quote unquote alphabet, the hierarchy out, so yeah, that's that. That's highbrow society. Bloodlines, right? Bloodlines, not just hummer stunting, like bloodlines, like Kennedy's, Onassis, shit like that. Bloodlines, highbrow society. They bring you into your society, country clubs, real wealth, Rothschilds, shit like that. Henceforth, why the small hats marry their daughters. They married in it. They married their daughters, so they marry in. Similar to what you see in the mafia, the Italian mafia. There's a marry in type of thing. So that's political. Do I know if yeah, Biden cut that funding. He ain't playing. He don't give his hoes nothing. And they still walking the strip. Because if they pushing a Jabberwocky, they walking the strip for Biden and whatnot. So he's giving them nothing and they're still outside walking the strip at this point. you got to kind of fall back from these people because they're completely, they're completely under a spell. You know, nah, I don't, it's not information. It's not misinformation. They cut that thing right there. I seen that on variable sources. He cut that. You know. So yeah, man. That's what it is. Oh, shut up. Hold on. Let me say something. Jared married to Ivanka Trump. Yeah, Jared married to Ivanka Trump. Henceforth, why there was something called arranged marriages, right? And they would have women in the feminist movement and whatnot, or the feminazis for that matter. They would say that arranged marriages is a form of cruelty and a woman should have choice over their bodies and whatnot. Not realizing that, it's not about that per se. Arranged marriages were taking place amongst families who knew each other, right? Not strangers, families who knew each other. And also it was also dictated by family members who were able to utilize the stars, your chart, you know what I mean? They were able to utilize multiple things like divination and whatnot. And they were lining people up and equally yoking them and whatnot for them to do certain type of to fulfill certain type of roles in life. And then when we look back in history, we see hundreds of thousands of inventions. We see landowners, brothers and sisters who were owning now I'm talking about estates and whatnot. We see the black cowboy. We see it. I see excellence. So highbrow society is that's the table that most of these people want to sit at. That's Rome. That's when in Rome they want to sit at the table of highbrow society because that cosign right there is like good. That's like good credit in that world. That's like 800 credit. You in the 800 club. You know. So when you look at the Epstein flight log, you know, when you look at the roster of some of the people that are behind climate change, or you know what I'm talking about. If you look at that, then you'll see a lot of the similar names and similar. It's not hard to find them. You know, check out the documentary on the BMW on the Quandit family. They created BMW. I'll definitely check that out. I gotta definitely see that. You know. But what's up with this Kyrie Irving situation? I want to talk about that. That is very interesting to see take place. Now, going back to what I'm saying about the thing with our good brother Dave Chappelle. They're trying to cancel him for his First Amendment rights. They're trying to cancel him even though he's a comedian whose purpose, his job is to shock people. His job is to shake up, the room and whatnot. His job is to be witty, and clever and be on time. And from what I've heard, there's nobody that really said that he wasn't funny and they didn't like it. So they're trying to cancel him and they can't cancel him, right? They're having a very hard time at it. It looks like a lot of things are backfiring. They were threatening to walk out. There was a situation where 3 people got fired because they barged into a meeting. There was these transsexual employees at Netflix barged into a meeting and whatnot and interrupted them. Then they got kicked out and whatnot. So even with them, there's an unraveling taking place as they try to throw rocks at his quote unquote throne and whatnot and try to turn the people against him, and it's backfiring. And it's backfiring. And then in this world, this other world of people trying to control the body, right? Dave Chappelle, they want to control the mind and they want to control the mouth, because if they're trying to censor you, it's because they want to control your mind. If they're trying to stop you from talking, it's because they're trying to control your thoughts. If they're trying to stop you from articulating yourself, it's because they're scared of your thoughts and your ideas and your concepts and the shit that you're coming up with and your motherfucking sauce and your cloth.
To this day. To this day.
That's what they're censoring. That's what they're trying to cap. That's what they're trying to put a muzzle on. That's what they're trying to put a mask on. That's what they're trying to zip. They want to zip it up. They want to close it. They want to close your mouth. But when you say fuck that and you basically utilize the friction, the kinetic energy of somebody coming at you like that, and you push back on it, then it creates it creates a more powerful charge of energy. So, people are basically tapping into that energy that that's beginning to be created as a result of, that pushback that we're seeing as a result of the failure, the outright failure. It's almost like in Star Wars when the Death Star will start falling apart and whatnot. You know that it's finito. You know what I mean? You know that it's finito. It's over with. It's a wrap, my nigga. You know what I'm talking about? So we're almost at that point. We're almost at that point. We're almost at that point. Shit is falling apart all around us, bro. If you don't see it, then you don't see it. I'm not here to have you see anything that you don't see, my genius. You don't talk about. That's on you. I could be standing next to somebody and we exist in two parallel universes on some Danny Meyer shit, my nigga. We could be standing next to somebody and they could be in a parallel universe in a completely different world. As I see when I travel and whatnot, as I move around, I'm like, yeah, these people are in a whole nother universe. And I'm not judging, I'm just saying. Rome is falling. Rome is falling. The empire has striking back. This shit is, this is going down. All of the proverbial statues or statutes are being tumbled, right? There's cracks in it, and then they fall apart piece by piece like a domino. For like the last 10 years, the last 20 years, yeah. What are we in, 2021? Yeah, so 9/11 up until now, shit has been a domino. At first was 9/11. Oh shit, the Pentagon. Oh no, who was behind it? What are you talking about? Loose change. Oh shit, loose change. And then 100 other documentaries. Oh, I'm going down a rabbit hole. And then it just takes you to different places. Henceforth, we all the way here now. And the truths that have fallen, or the lies that have fallen for that matter, they were taller than skyscrapers. It looked like the video when Snoop knocked down the buildings, my nigga. It looked like one of those dystopian Hollywood blockbusters and whatnot, where shit is just falling down, where the wave and the flood is just knocking the buildings down. Well, the wave and the flood of information, the wave and the flood of this cloth talk, the wave and the flood of the energy that came through, the wave and the flood of the drip, the wave and the flood of the image, the visual, when they got to see our faces, the collective that is, the collective that is young, black, handsome brothers and sisters, beautiful sisters, talking that talk, walking that walk. It shook the pillars of the matrix. I'm not just saying it's only us. God damn it. It was predicted that the world, that the people were going to wake up. It was predicted that the paradigm was going to shift. It was predicted that the world was finna come to ends. It was predicted that a lot of things were going to be revealed. It was predicted that this was the year of exposure. And it's and everything has come true. You know what I'm talking about? That was in Atlanta. I'm not in Atlanta, so I haven't been on set for about, almost coming up to a year. I can't wait to get back on set. I'll be in Atlanta soon. I can't wait to get back on set and bring back the podcast that me and Blue Pill had. Right? It's a beautiful journey. Like, I wish you could see through these lenses and see what I see. Being here for 20 years and whatnot, the shit that I've seen, what I've witnessed, I'm able to measure. I was here before anybody got into. Imagine being at the party before anybody show up. It's you, the other promoter, and the people who opened this bitch up, who opened the club up. That's it. The DJ didn't even get there yet. So I was in the movie in the beginning. I seen it. I was there. I don't know if it even existed the day before I got there, or if it was calling itself what it was. But I've been holding it. I've been seeing it. I've been feeling it. I've been witnessing it. I've seen how it multiplied. It turned into different names and characters. You know what I mean? It splintered. You know what I mean? It fractured like fractals do. It did what it's supposed to do. It's supposed think there's isms and schisms in all of these organizations in their earlier inceptions and whatnot. There's always the isms and schisms. In the scientific world, it's called fractal. You know what I mean? It always breaks off into a fractal. You know what I mean? Now there's 100 red pills out there. You know what I mean? I've been cloned, I've been duplicated, but that's all just fractal technology. You know what I mean? That's just a fractal theory and whatnot. But I've seen a lot. And it's interesting to know that the story that I have is priceless. You know what I mean? To know that I have something which is the story, the mystery, and the history. So, my vantage point is different from anybody else that I know on this planet. You know what I mean? Blue Pill is the closest person that I would say shares the vantage. But other than that, everybody has their own vantage point. That's a given fact. Like, there's nothing that, you know what I mean? There's nothing to be upset about. You can't envy that. You can't be mad at that. We all got different vantage points. You see a lot of shit from your point of view that I'll never be able to see. And that's cool. But when it comes to the conscious community or this conscious, whatever you want to call it, whatever this iteration is, I'm talking about this wave. I'm talking about this movie. I'm talking this schmovie. I'm talking about this experiment. I'm talking about this concept. I'm talking about this era. I'm talking about this epoch. This right here, I've there's a lot of pot, there's a lot of spoons in the pot. Granted, there are a lot of spoons in the pot. I would not take credit for, everybody plays a part. There's nobody that could say, even with me saying that I was here early, that means nothing. I was just one of the first members, one of the first players, one of the first I was there when the ground was breaking. I witnessed a lot of things, you know what I mean? Vicariously by being hands-on, whatever. But I wasn't the only one. Shit. You know what I mean? Blue Pill was right there with me. It wasn't like he wasn't around. He was right there. He was doing his thing. He's my teacher. It would be no me without him. So, it's just a lot. The story would be told in 2022. Moving on. Who's older, me or Blue? I'm older. Stop that. Yeah, I'm older. Talk back to me. So, but it's about I can't. It's so much stuff that I want to do that I wish I'd be able to. It's gonna happen very soon. Let's just say that. As a matter of fact, too, as I've been putting my stuff together, I ran across something that I was looking. Shout out to all. Look, Patreon. These are all terabytes, and all of this contain content that's never been on Instagram or the YouTuber. This is all they should have some type of system or some type of there needs to be a DeFi DApp set up to whereas it could take a hard drive and you could plug it up and find out the intricate value of the content on it. You know how they say content is king? You know how they say you can't put a price to your creations or your information? But yes, you can. Yes, you motherfucking can. You could put a price to all of your data, all of your information. There's such a thing called entrepreneurism. You could put a price tag to all your content, anything that's a bit or anything that is considered to be, a byte, which is, digital in the cyber world, or a bit, something that's in the physical world, a product, you know? So shout out to everybody signing up to the Patreon. I need y'all to sign up to this Patreon. I like the rush that we were getting when we started putting it out there. I want to get up to about 1,000 people in Patreon. I think I'm lowballing. Oh, that's a super low ball, but I like to grow. Like I said, I'm an analytics person. I like to, I definitely like organic growth. You know what I mean? So I respect the organic growth. Shout out to everybody that signed up. We definitely finna get busy. I got my hard drives and whatnot. So we about to dive in. This might be the last time you see me in this studio where I've been doing Melanin Mondays and Third Eye Thursdays for 18 months. You dig what I'm saying? This right here, this studio right here that I've been doing my broadcasting. I've done some monumental historic shows, but there's a time and a place for everything. You know what I mean? Pages have to turn. This might not be it's not saying that you'll never see me here again, but we're gonna be changing the page, right? Somebody asked earlier about the old studio. I'm glad you asked that. Your timing is excellent and whatnot. There has to be an upgrade. So as we close out the fourth quarter, right? This is a layback year. This is a layback time. You know what I mean? This is more of a transition period, especially with everything going on state to state to state to state. Remember, the state of New York is the state of mind of New York. The state of Florida is the state of mind of Florida. The state of Texas is the state of mind of Texas. Before it's the corporation that you call or you adhere to or you pay taxes to call the state of Texas. It's the mind state. New York state of mind, Texas state of mind, Florida state of mind, Atlanta state of mind, Georgia state of mind. So keep that in mind, right? So you got to make sure that you go where the minds are right. People's minds are right. People are getting their mind right. They're demonstrating that they have their minds right, right? It's not a lot of places like that, but you might want to find out where certain places are more than others because it will benefit you. You don't want to, but friction benefits you as well. Being amongst people who are totally opposite of you, or being amongst people who are in opposition of you, or being amongst people who are antagonizing towards you, that's the shit that makes some of us who the fuck we are. What you talking about? That makes us great.
To this day.
Adversity builds character. Adversity builds character. That's why some of y'all work at these jobs and whatnot for all of these years, and it created a motherfucking robot, or it created a warrior or a warrior. It created a boss or created a loss. It goes both ways. The pendulum swings both ways. You know what I'm talking about? Bullets have no names and pendulums have no heart. It swings both ways. I done seen people get jobbed up and they bossed up. I seen people get jobbed up, they got slobbed up. You know what I mean? It swings both ways. Whatever. I seen people hit the streets and get swallowed up, and I seen people hit the streets and blow up. It hits both ways. We know this. You know what I mean? If I gotta tell you this at 1:03 a.m., you know what I'm talking about? In Connecticut, then nigga, what are you talking about? You didn't see the 800 documentaries that came out? You didn't see the 400 Netflix shows? You just see the 1,000 A&E specials, first 48, next 48. It's the same story. It's recycled. It's the same shit. It's Scarface all over again, and Godfather and all of that other stuff. You know? But we live in a new day and age, and there's new ways to get it, and there's new ways to monetize your greatness, and there's opportunity that never existed before that has ballooned out of this world. I said it too, and I'm gonna say it again. You got to see the size of this community when you saw the controversy kicking off last month with just Polite and Sinetta and a whole bunch of other names that were being thrown out there. You got to see the extent and the length of it, the reach, right? Because it's about reach, and no input, and there's no such thing as bad publicity. Keep that in mind too. And I also said this on the show before, that you got to remember, we live in a society that rewards, failures. They reward bad behavior. They reward sinisterness and shit like that. They reward all kind of shit. You got women who will have a girlfriend, right? You got women who would be in a relationship and they're getting abused and they're getting trampled and whatnot, and they're getting physically abused, verbally abused, emotionally abused, cheated on, and all kind of stuff. And they'll tell that to their girlfriend, and that will entice the girlfriend to go find that man and go sleep with him, right? You have people out there who you could warn them about somebody, and that somehow sparks something in them to be like, yo, I want to go find out, I want to get robbed by this person. I want to be that person's victim. You know how they used to say there used to be deer that will walk up to a lion and just lay in their mouth, like, just, I want to be eaten by you. So there's certain people who just put themselves in those predicaments. Keep that in mind. That's not everybody, but that exists. That definitely exists. You know what I mean? That definitely exists. You know? Look at it exists in rap. The more some of these young niggas talk about killing people, the more popular they become, the more richer they become, the more accepted they become. You know what I mean? The more lit they become. And that's not to say, this artist might not have been out there protecting their neck, right? Or staying alive, because once you got drama like that, you got drama. Once it's on, it's on. Somebody took somebody from you, so it's on and popping. There's a war going on outside. Once again, you don't need me to tell you anything. You niggas been listening to the 100 hours of 10 songs on the radio talking about getting it back in blood and drilling niggas, and nobody has to play stupid and like we don't know what's going on. But these niggas are out here playing Squid Games and murder and Hunger Games in real life. And there's a reward system attached to it. You'll be super lit if you body enough niggas and get away with it. But Zimmerman is still around, but that's another story. Is it or isn't it? You know? You ain't getting that much money. You know what I'm talking about? Nigga, you not that lit. You don't got that many spinners. You ain't spin a block that many times. So, I'm not gonna talk your head off. We are coming to the 2 hour line. I would love to go on, you know what I mean? But we gotta make sure that the support is good. Like I meant, like we're gonna be doing after shows even with the Patreon. You know what I mean? Can't be doing the 4 hour shows on YouTube. We might as well just cut that in half, take some of these conversations over to the Patreon and whatnot. But the show continues. I'm talking about Melanin Monday. We'll be back in the building. You know what I mean? You already know what it is. I will inform you more about the upcoming workshop that we have with my good brother Slice. All right. from the biggest crypto play ever. I'm talking about we're going to be presenting the starter kit. All right. Do it yourself, graphic design, DIY, web design. All right. Negotiating skills, payment processing, how to price products and services, and distribution skills for digital products and forecast syndicated hacks. So for the family that's out there that's looking to become digital nomads, for the family out there that want to sharpen up their quote unquote digital economic skills and whatnot, this one is for you. For the creatives, for the people who are on TikTok, Instagram, all of the other places and monetizing your content, or creatives on YouTube, or you want to create an alter ego or a business or whatever, a brand, tap in. Link is in the bio. Link is in the bio. So I want to say first and foremost, again, thank you for everybody that's been supporting. Your support means everything to us. We have this project coming. This is going to be very important to us as well. Coming up around my birthday. Yes, go check out that Black Magic show. I went off yesterday. I was in rare form. I was in. It's in this NBA season just about to start up. It started already. Talk about a show. We in here. We shooting in the gym. You know what I mean? We shooting in the gym, and we was on the dance floor, so it's time to dance. BMF coming back. Coming back where? Second season? You bet your bottom dollar it is. Yeah, they got my nigga Meech like Rambo. I'm talking about. They got my nigga Meech like Rambo on the BMF series. 50 Cent is a fool. That nigga wrote him like Rambo. 50 Cent is a fool. How you doing, Brittany? So yes, y'all, we out of here. I would love to kick it. Hit that Cash App, hit that like button, tap in, get those tickets and whatnot. Sign up for that Patreon. You know what I mean? Shout out to all of my Patreons. Love and light to y'all. I'm gonna end this again with that song that we got. Die Hard. All right. That is that's off of the Red Summer 2021. We have a year. We coming up onto a year when we dropped that album and whatnot. The anniversary for it is right around the corner. So, we cooking up. We cooking up. That's all I gotta say. Look out for it. If you know how we do. Rice. Yeah, that's the original name. That's the beat name.
Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop well. Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop 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 well.
My crypto is up, my pistols is tucked. By the dip with the set, and then I get low as fuck. Lambos in limbo, I sit low as fuck. I got a Kamala hopping off the G5, and you know what Timbo's is tucked. Had the best verses, have to give Swiss Beat and Timbo a cut. Rather wake up in Rome in a Karen's home that look like Sharon Stone before I hand them the stones. Chrome and abandon the throne. Dope and palm, smoke and bomb. Chaos magicians with broken wands. Travel through the dark web until my token's gone. Searching for Spock in his Pokemon.
How's the sound? Let me know how the sound is, because to be honest with you, I spent like an hour today perfecting the audio, making sure that the sound was good, because I promise you, like I said, you're going to see this show grow. You're going to see this turn into something that's going to be magnificent on God. You know what I mean? Everybody that been riding with me from when I was in my crib in the Bronx, you know, on my camera phone, just kicking it. You know what I'm talking about? Starting out from the bottom, you know, but keep in mind, you can never be able to measure yourself at the top if you didn't necessarily start from the bottom. If somebody starts on the top, how could they measure themselves when they're on the top? You have to have been somewhere in order to get somewhere. So, you know, the place where I'm at right now, you know, when they say I'm in that space and whatnot, I could look back on where I started. I could look back on when I first started this journey and this walk and whatnot, and be extremely proud and grateful of, you know, who I am. And everybody, the people who crossed me, the people who lost me and whatnot, you know what I'm talking about? The people who endorse me, it's all the same. We are all in the movie and whatnot. You feel me? So I love all of y'all. Y'all all, I need an antagonist to be the protagonist. Hey, Rude needs set. Hey, Rude needs set. You should look for adversity on some situation. You better identify who your protagonist is in life, nigga. You better not be fucking shy. We are all Othello. We all are in quote unquote in a side. We're all in a state of dualism, and we're dueling with someone else. It's a reflection of ourselves, but it manifests in an antagonist in our life. People call them bullies. People call them the ops. People call them beef. There's many different names and whatnot, but that's what it be. What does a mouse call a cat, my nigga? What does a mouse call a cat? You feel me? I'm just saying. What does a dog call a cat? What's the topic tonight? Topic is we going in. Hashtag Red October. Hashtag Red October. You know? So y'all said the audio was good though? Just let me know. Not too low, not too high. I just want to make sure y'all not hearing it out of the headphones into the microphone. I want to make sure you're hearing it inside of the Bluetooth, inside of your, you know what I mean? Like inside of your thing. That's important to me. That's what I want to know. The hunt for Red October. Woo. Hunt for Red October. You dig? So yeah, y'all, it's been fun. I'm tapping out, you know. I gotta spend some time. And like I said, I am making a life move. I'm starting a journey. I'm navigating because it's navigation time. You know what I'm talking about? And I'm moving a lot. I'm moving it like the snake moves through the magnetic fields, like I said in Bill Bixby, that part. So yeah, here we go. Let's play this music and we out of here and we catch up with you. And we'll fill you in on all of the things that are taking place. All right? Love and light.
To this day. To this day.
Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop, oh well. Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop, oh 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 well.
My crypto is up, my pistols is tucked. By the dip with the set, and then I get low as fuck. Lambos in limbo, I sit low as fuck. I got a Kamala hopping off the G5, and you know what Timbo's is tucked. Had the best verses, have to give Swiss Street and Timbo a cut. Rather wake up in Rome in a Karen's home that look like Sharon Stone before I hand them the stones. Chrome and abandon the throne. Smoking bombs, chaos magicians with broken wands. Travel through the dark web until my token's gone. Searching for Spock in his Pokemon. Invoking songs. Speaking fit black in his Hebrew spoken wrong. Off-white Peruvian fox. Blue face to watch. Lapis lazuli the rocks. Baby blue Bermudian locks. Triple black Nubian yacht with Nairobian dot. Brand Nubian knot. Slow down.
Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop, oh well. Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop, oh 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 well.
Slow down. Then a playlist switched to Andalusian rock. For all of you niggas that saying the black woman god, natural Tahuti your pops. Now it's back to the basics. Made the Sentinel destroy Zion. Now it's back to the Matrix. Racist. They said black don't crack, but it's cracks in a facelift. Glaciers. Ski racks on a spaceship. Gracious. Tanzanite black opal 100 racks for the bracelets. Selfies inspired. We fed all our healthy desires. Demons and Hellcats. Street cars with wealthy desires. Red summers, oh yeah, we melt in these tires. The LP was fire. NFT top shelf sold to the wealthiest buyer. Copper wires, yeah, the wealthy messiahs. You was wrapped up in the wealthy attire. Speak your dreams, dream chasing niggas, seek your streams.
Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop, oh well. Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop, oh 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 well.
Old niggas ask me, hey, where you get your style from? I told them my style smelled like a cow dung. I chewed on them shrooms like a cow tongue. They said, how come? I replied that the proof is in the outcome. Detroit Red Pillar, yeah, Harlem's very old Malcolm. Go a cop to the album, the Red Summer. Scorpion King, that Christ consciousness, yeah. You might conquer shit. 300 blickies on some contra shit. What? That ain't the meanest entry in the cleanest Bentley. Mars and Scorpio, but I let Venus tempt me. Grabbing my dick, they call it Venus envy. Busting off shots. Busting off shots till the scene is empty.
Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop, oh well. Die hard or live well. They wanna see me stop, oh well. They wanna see me stop, oh well.
Red October,
They wanna see me
niggas.
stop, oh well.
Red
They
Summer
wanna see me
Deluxe,
stop,
niggas.
oh well. They wanna see me stop, oh
I hear you,
well.
Destiny.
To this day. To this day. To this day.
Halfway.
Take a few steps back. to go
You ain't got the
forward.
answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
To this day. To this day.